Carl, a friend who backpacks with us from California, stopped for a 4-day visit, so we took the opportunity to take him low into the canyons and high up the mountains. We walked the rim trail behind the visitor center, then we did a longer hike on Black Ridge Trail. We only walked 2 miles, just enough to see a wonderful view, and we got lucky enough to see this nice collared lizard that's just sitting on the trail. The next day on Highway 128 in Utah, we are on our way to BLM land, and we're going to hike MaryJane Canyon to check out a nice waterfall that we heard about. It's about 30 miles from Moab, and it is about a 6-mile round-trip hike.
Yeah, it's nice.
We hiked into a creek. We hopped over about 80 times in and 80 more times out. The cool water helped us. It's about 85 degrees. My waterproof boots came in very handy. After a while, I just stopped hopping altogether and just walked across.
A lot of that.
We find cascading waterfalls on our way into the canyon. And there's even a nice alcove with my name engraved on the rock. The canyon was beaming with animal life. A frog in the water, a harmless garter snake in a big rush to get out of the way. And this is some type of a grouse crossing the road. Kind of reminds me of me waddling on the trail.
We have a lady by our house that is a people.
Rocks become spookier. This is compact clay that was once underwater. Our final destination, this unnamed waterfall, indicating the end of our hike, but not the end of the canyon. If you have the heart to climb over these waterfalls, you can do some serious rock scrambling afterwards. Once we hiked back, we drove on Castle Valley Road, not far from Moab, to Monte LaSal National Forest to look for a campsite. Today we hike a canyon, tomorrow is the mountains, and they are so close by. We find a Forest Service campground with about 6 sites. We are it for the night. We ate leftover barbecue chicken, mashed potatoes, and asparagus dinner, and the boys are looking at the maps, planning tomorrow's hike in the mountains. I get worried since they are talking as high as 11,000 feet.
This is high.
Oh yeah, as far as highness, yeah. This is 86, a little less than 86.
So the campground's around 93.
Campsite is very nice, loaded with aspen trees, and another wonderful sunset, all ours to enjoy. These are the mountains we will be spending the afternoon. We are driving on to Warner Lake, and it's about 10 miles further up the road from our last night's campsite.
Might not be big stuff. Just follow this curve and stay away from the snow on the left flank. Actually,
Gee, I'm thinking I should be staying at Warner Lake and fish with that fellow over there. Sounds a lot more exciting than climbing these mountains. One final look at the maps. In the beginning, it is an aspen forest with the mountains looming behind them. Soon we meet up with Dry Creek Trail. Not so dry. The deer is actually not this close. I had to zoom in quite a bit. I go halfway once we reach snow patches and the wind starts blowing. I work out a sweat, so now I'm afraid of hypothermia, since I'm moving slow and the wind is much colder here now. So by halfway point I turn around and go back to the trailhead while the boys keep going, and I'm back there by lunchtime.
We're up climbing a peak near Warner Lake in the Monte LaSals. We're actually going to a pass. We're probably up around 10.7 right now. Looking east, or west, sorry, towards the Henry Mountains and down just south of Moab. I'll just scan around this cirque we're climbing. I'm on a really steep ridge. I gotta watch how my footing is. And here's my trail going up, up.
Dave and Carl went on to No Name Pass ahead, and a peak of about 11,500 feet. And then they are going to Miners Basin, and then they came back, and it was a 7-mile round trip with an elevation of at least 2,000 feet gained. They returned 5 hours later, exhausted, and they were starving, so we went to have a nice dinner in Moab. We got home around 11 o'clock, and then the next morning Carl continued his drive over to the state of Ohio. And it was nice seeing him again, and I think he enjoyed his hike very much.
Here I am on top of a windy peak in Monte LaSals, looking down to the east towards West Valley. And there's a miners camp down there. And we're crossing over here to the trail. Another line up on top of this peak. Coming along here. Carl here taking more pictures of the peaks. We're at about 11.5 here, and it's pretty cold and windy. We're going to get off pretty quick.